Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Move on to roll call.
Sorry. Okay. Roll call. Greg.
Yes, here.
Angela here. Sarah here. Lisa here. Chris
Here. All present. Moving on to item number B, the agenda approval. Additions or deletions. We have 3 additions, or 4, well, we have a consent agenda addition, item D, 4B, and new business items under H is going to be item number 13. We're going to review the proposed tri-hospital emergency medical service building use contract. I'm going to add item 14 and discuss the planning commission ordinance, and we're going to add item number 15. Mr. Treadway is here from Joe's Garage. His site plan was not approved at the planning commission, so we need to discuss that and hear where he's at with that. I can hand these out now. Here, if you want to pass a couple of these down, pass that down, because I got a whole bunch. There you go. Pass them down. No particular order. This will be for item 14. So 2 that way, that way. I'll kind of explain what these are as we go when we get to that. And then, sorry, these all have to do with item 14. There you go. Are there any other additions or deletions? With that, can I have a motion to approve the agenda with the additions?
A motion.
Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor by saying aye? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. We will move on to item number C, guest speaker. We have UHY here today to talk about our audit. You guys can have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Paul Bailey. I'm the partner in charge of your financial audit. This is Tammy Pitzer. She's the senior in charge of your audit. Everything went well. We'll just spend a little bit of time going through it. I think everybody got a copy, hopefully, of the green binder. It's a little different than it was in the past. It used to be blue, now it's green. If you turn in just past the table of contents, it says independent auditor's report on the top. This is where our firm gives an opinion on whether your financial statements are presented in accordance with general accepted accounting principles, and you have what they call an unmodified or clean opinion. That's what you're striving for. Once we got it done, we had to send it to the Michigan Department of Treasury. That's one of the first things they check is what type of an opinion you can receive, and that's again the best type of an opinion a municipality or a private business can receive. And again, it's called unmodified or clean opinion. Starting on page 4. Gets into your what they call your management discussions and analysis letter. It's a 4 or 5 page letter that explains to the reader a little bit about how the financial statements are put together, as well as some very summarized information. We're going to talk a little bit more detail tonight than that, but this letter is required to be in the packet in order for you to get that for the unmodified or clean opinion. Page 9. Page 9 is what they call a statement of net position. As I've explained in the past years, in your financial statements, there's really 2 sets of financial statements. 9, 10, and 11 page are what they call your commercial way of looking at Cottrellville Township. And these statements include all assets owned by the township, all liabilities owed by the township, things such as your buildings, fire trucks, anything like that. Are within these financial statements. If you look down to the far right-hand corner, if you were a corporation, you'd be worth about $7.3 million in total. No negative equities. Some municipalities have promised benefits, fringe benefits and things that are in deficits. You don't have any of that, so that's good. If we turn over to page 12 and 13, this is the traditional way governments have reported for the last 40 years. And this is what they call your balance sheet or a snapshot as of March 31st, 2025. Your first column is your general fund. You'll see your cash of $765,000, investments of just under $250,000, $246,000, some receivables, property taxes, and so forth. Total assets of $1,128,174. Liabilities that you owe at the end of the year, a little bit of accounts payable, accrued liabilities. Total liabilities of $20,817. There's what they call unavailable resources. Some of your state aid comes in past 60 days, so you don't get to record it as revenue for $30,000. So that leaves a total fund balance at the end of the year of $1,077,297. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. Kind of when you just go across the page, you'll see your fire fund. They had fund balance at the end of the year of $81,395. Your garbage collection fund, $268,690. Your CARES fund just had $21,132, but you had really spent it. It was just going to be used up in this year there. And then your other funds, which are 4 or 5 funds, we'll talk about when we get to the back, had fund balance of $400,309. If we turn over to page 15 and 16. This is your statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in fund balance, or your operating statement. First column again is your general fund. You'll see taxes, special assessments, licenses, permits. This year your total general fund took in $704,122. You spent $640,118. You transferred out $21,000 primarily to the fire department, $20,000. So for the year ended March 31st, 2025, you were to the positive revenues over expenditures by $42,384. So revenues over expenditures of $42,384. You'll see your fire fund took in $156,520. They spent $150,403. So before transfers in, they were to the good $6,117. You transferred that $20,000 from the general fund, so they were to the positive $26,117. Your garbage fund took in revenues there of $227,015. They spent $231, so they had expenditures slightly over revenues, really just a break-even year of $49.70. But there. Your CARES funds pretty much was gone at the end of the year. You can see the revenues and expenditures. You recognized $158,000 and you spent $136,000. Again, your other column we'll talk about in a few minutes in the back. And then on page 18 gets into what they call your proprietary funds. But we're going to talk about those also in the back because there's 2 or 3 funds within the water fund and 2 or 3 within the sewer. So if we can turn to page 47. Sorry, before we do that, let's turn to page 44. That other column I talked to you about is made up of 5 funds: your Cherry Beach lighting fund, your park fund, your police fund, your road fund, and your ambulance fund. The Cherry Beach lighting, you took in $1,380. You spent $3,000. The transfer from the general fund come in at $1,620. So revenues equal to expenditures this year in your Cherry Beach. Your park fund, you brought in $20,986. You spent $11,698. So the parks fund was to the good $9,288. Your police fund, you brought in $21,000. There was no expenditures during the year. The road fund, you'll see it brought in $88,848. You spent $92,298. So expenditures over revenues of $3,450 for the year. And then finally, your ambulance fund, $88,809 you brought in. You spent $83,949. And again, that fund pretty much comes in and it goes over to the ambulance authority. So that's a pretty well clearing fund. Now, if we turn over to page 47, in your water fund, there's the operating fund where most of the activity takes place, but you also still have your District 2A and your District 3 and 4, where you would issue bond issues to put water and sewer or water lines in there. But if it shows your assets in your fund, you'll see your operating fund had cash of $19,000. Then it goes into your receivables and so forth. But if you look at the bottom of the page, there's a line that says unrestricted of $225,000. That's basically what you would have available if you had to do something there. If all your receivables came in and you paid off all your liabilities, you'd be left with $225,000. The two other funds are used just to pay off debt. It looks like your District 2A is going to be, you see the brackets of $73,947. When that gets all cleared out after the bond's fully paid, you might be a hair short. Those never work right out exactly because, they're done years and years and years ago, and a lot of estimates are made. But District 3 and 4 looks like it's going to be to a positive 141. So when you put them together, they'd be like 70,000 to the positive. Over on page 48, this shows your revenues and expenditures. Your operating fund took in $644,000. Unfortunately, you had $1,044,848 of expenditures. Now that did include about $100,000 of depreciation, which is a paper number.
Right.
But you had an operating loss of $400,000 with depreciation, or approximately $300,000 without. So your operating fund did not really have too good a year. And then you can see your District 2A and District 3 and 4, again, primarily used, or not primarily, only used for debt service. On page 49 is the sewer operating fund operations. Again, the first column is the operating fund. You'll see they had cash of $449,000, some receivables due from other funds there. But there, if you look at the bottom of the page, your unrestricted there would be $741,266 there. You still had your 2022 capital construction fund. That was just almost done, so that'll get cleared out. And then you have your 2022 debt retirement fund, again, that has money in it just to pay the debt. That is your financial statement. Oh, sorry, on page 50 is your operating statement for the sewer fund. You'll see the sewer fund took in $364,000. You had expenditures of $295,000, so you were $68,000 to the positive. There was a little bit of interest earned of $3,500, so you were $72,000. Then you transferred money in and out. Bottom line is you were short about $2,500 in total. That's pretty much the number section of the audit report. I know I went through it very fast. It's a 50-page report. We could spend a lot of time, and I know you got a long agenda, so I just tried to hit some of the highlights. There should be also a couple letters I just would like to touch on real quickly. The first one is the independent auditor's report. When a CPA firm comes in, not only do we audit the numbers, but we're also required to test your internal controls to make sure there's two sets of eyes looking at everything. And if we become aware of any weaknesses, we're required to report it to the board. You just have a couple things here. The first one's more of a requirement for small clients. Back when Enron was going on, they determined that every entity should have somebody on staff that could pull this whole financial statement together. And that's what we do for a living. You run a township for a living and so forth. But you rely on us to do that, and that's kind of they say a weakness, but it's just not cost justified to have somebody on staff to do that. Yeah, General Motors can and the big corporations can, but the clients that we deal with, most of them have that same comment. The next one is just, it says lack of segregation of duties. This year, your accountant also acted as a treasurer a number of times during the year, or for a length of time during the year. So there's not real good checks and balances. So in the future, if you can kind of keep from that, sometimes you're stuck with what you have. So there. And then finally on this letter, the utilities receivable should be reconciled to your subsidiary ledgers. You have a separate printout of all the bills that are owed for water and sewer, and then you have your accounting system. What we're saying there is they should reconcile. In the last few years, they always have. But as you know, you switched to the cloud, and there were some hiccups that happened during the year. So they were off, so we had to spend quite a bit of time trying to work those back and forth. Hopefully, that's worked itself out. I'm hoping.
I think we got that fixed, didn't we?
We're hoping everything's cleared.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing else is happening now, but as long as we've made all the correct, journal entries and
Yeah.
moved all the correct money where it belongs.
The switch
It should
over,
be good.
the switch over to cloud wasn't
Was it
as
smooth?
seamless.
It wasn't.
It wasn't as seamless as what they made said it would be.
You know, you're not the only client that's telling us.
There's been a lot of issues with it.
Yes. The second letter is an audit communication letter, because CPA firms aren't required to come to a meeting like this. We appreciate the opportunity to come answer any questions. It just goes through whether we had any issues with the audit, and if you go through here, it's a pretty boilerplate. And then in addition, in the back, these aren't weaknesses, but when we finish the audit, we go back to the office, pull it all together, go through a number of review processes, and then we come out and we meet with the supervisor, clerk, and treasurer, flip through it page by page, and spend a lot of time talking about a lot of issues. We attach anything we talk about to the back of this letter so the rest of the board can see it, and know what was discussed at that meeting. I'd be happy to go through them if you'd like, but that's kind of what the letter is all about.
Yes, I didn't have any questions on that. I mean, I think we fared well. So. Anything else you wanted to add, or?
No, overall, I think you're in good financial condition. You know, probably the only fund is which you're well aware of, the water fund.
Yeah, we,
A tough situation.
it needs some love, and we're I'm trying to find solutions to that.
Yes.
But that one's going to be, I think that's going to, that it's been a many decade building issue, and it's not going to be an easy fix, but
Right.
we're gonna do what we can. That's why I took the job.
Yep.
So, no, I mean, we're in good fiscal health, and from what you guys said earlier is, our practices, some of the things we've implemented are beneficial to the process, so, I already turned in the cap letter, which addressed those two issues, so, yeah. Did anybody have any questions, or?
I think we're good.
Okay, thank you. It's a pleasure to work with you again.
Thank you so
Very
much.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the hard work. I know it was a long one this year.
Thanks.
If there was no other questions or concerns on that, we move on to the consent agenda. Item number 1, approval of Township Board minutes, the regular meeting minutes from October 8th, 2025, the approval of the treasurer's reports, the reconciliation of the tax account, item B, reconciliation of the general checking, item C, cash summary report, and item D, Cottrellville Township investments reports. Item number 3, approval of the clerk's reports, item A, revenue and expenditure report for October, item B, approval of the paychecks for October. Item C, approval of accounts payables, and so 1 is 0, nothing left to be paid, $236,569.46 already paid, $103,691 in tax disbursements, and for a total of $340,260.86. We had correspondence from Marin City Fire Authority. They had a total of 62 runs for the month of October. Cottrellville had 19 runs, 6 medical emergencies, 6 motor vehicle accidents, 1 carbon monoxide alarm, 2 illegal burns, 2 down power lines, 1 brush fire, 1 smoke alarm. And then Ira Township, we had 7 medical emergencies, 1 gas leak, 1 fire alarm, and 1 personal injury accident for a total of 10 runs for the third quarter of 2025 through Ira Township. Any questions on the consent agenda? Any discussion? If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
A motion.
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg,
Yes.
Angela, yes, Sarah?
Yes.
Lisa? Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. We'll move on to item number E, public comment. I'll open public comment at 7:50. If there's no one that wants to address the board regarding the agenda items, I will close public comment at 7:50, and we will move on to board, committee, and department reports. No, excuse me. We have a building department report, a permit summary. Get back to that page. We had a total of 16 permits for a total of $4,584 for last month. Still on track for a banner year for permits and building in the township. Was there any questions on the building department report? No? I'll move on to the 2025 millage rate report, which was provided by Mrs. Shute. Let me get this out of the way. Basically, the 2025 mill rates for the summer, principal residence is 17.0714 mils, with non-principal residents being 35.0714 mils. The winter mill rate is 8.9540 with a garbage fee of 172, which brings total millage rate for the year for principal residence exemption properties to 26.0254 and non-principal residents to a total of 44.0254. Was there any questions on the millage rate? There's a breakdown, and it tells you the winter tax rates, the drug tax force, senior citizens, library, the parks and rec, county roads, veterans, ambulance, college, and then our operating millage of 0.67. The roads at 0.5, fire and the police each at 1. And then the summer breaks down, and that all goes to the county and state. The county operating of 5.3, the state education of 6, special education of 2.3, the intermediate schools of 0.19, the vocational ed of 0.92, the school debt of 0.7, the school debt of 1.64, no road, fire, or police on the summer tax bill. So that's where we come up with the millage rates. Any questions on that?
And those were the summer that have already been paid.
Yeah,
so.
those ones have already been.
So it's not the upcoming summer, that is the one that's already paid.
Yeah, that's for
So-
2025, so that was this year's summer,
Yeah.
that came out July 2nd.
So Barb just provided this for us so that we were aware with the new change to the winter with the
Right.
fire and the police, so.
So, any questions? If not, I'll move on to unfinished business, which basically we've got proposal from TextMyGov, which we have tabled till December. They called me again today. I said, I'll let them know what we talk about in December. With no other unfinished business, I will move on to new business. Item number 1, request to approve payment of invoice number 161525 payable to Anderson, Eckstein, and Westrick in the amount of $2,600 for the engineering plans for the second driveway for Shortcut Road Park. I believe that's the first of 2 payments for that project. Do I have a motion to pay that invoice?
Just out of curiosity, have we seen any kind of like
Yeah, we have.
drawing?
Well, they came up with the preliminary drawings, and then they came out and they did the surveys. They surveyed everything, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago. So now they are drawing up the actual plans to meet what the road commission is requiring from us to add the second driveway. I haven't seen any final plans. The only thing I saw is kind of roughly where the driveway is gonna go, which is more on the west parking lot, in between that big tree, kind of where that telephone pole is that has nothing on it, and that other tree. That's kind of where they're thinking it's gonna go. So that's, hopefully by next month, we'll have some engineering plans that we can send out for bid. So we can, start getting some bid on that second driveway. So again, do I have a motion to approve payment of invoice 161525 in the amount of $2,600?
A motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Lisa? Chris?
Yes. Motion carries. Item number 2, request to approve the water department purchase of water meter couplings, 50 water meter couplings, not to exceed the total of $1,500. Apparently, we need some more water meter couplings, and he's got that out trying to get the cheapest price right now. Do I have a motion to approve a water department purchase for water meter couplings in the amount, not to exceed a total of $1,500?
Motion.
It's gonna be this amount, right?
So this, if,
The 1,125?
can't remember
Is
when,
it- did he
when
find
this
it?
was printed, October 14th. Basically, I just put it on there for a total of $1,500 because, one, this does not include shipping or tax.
Okay.
So, and two, depending on, life, the world, I mean, that price could go up, from day to day. So that's why the number is larger than the printout Nick gave us, so.
So, did I have a motion?
We just need a
Chris,
second.
we need a second, I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Lisa? Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 3, request to approve payment of the St. Clair County Drains at Large invoice for 2025 in the amount of $36,073.44. Some of these, this will be our final payment on. I don't remember which ones.
Oh, the ones that say 2025? No, never mind, I don't know.
No, there's like 3 of them that these are the final payments
Well, I
on.
think these first 3, because there's no,
Yeah, I think it's the smaller ones. I think there's only 2 left, and that's the 11,000 and the 13,000. I think there's 1 or 2 more years on each of those. All the rest of these, I are pretty sure this is the final payment on those. So hopefully next year we won't. Well, then again, it's the Drain Commission. They add invoices every year for
Add
the
and
drains.
subtract and,
So, I just need a motion to approve paying St. Clair County Drains at Large invoice in the amount of $36,073.44.
no motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Lisa? Yes. Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 4, request to approve payment of invoice 119140 for services rendered in September 2025 payable to Kirk Huth Lang and Battlementi PLC in the amount of $900.15. Do I have a motion to pay the attorney in the amount of $900.15?
Motion to pay the attorney.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Lisa? Yes. Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 5, request to set the public hearing for the Parks and Recreation Master Plan to be held during the regularly scheduled Township Board meeting on December 10th, 2025. We're still, I believe it's still out there, that they're still out for public comment. And then we'll hold the public hearing on the December 10th board meeting so we can get that approved and get that off to get approved through the DNR. So everybody good with holding the public hearing during the next board meeting?
I'm good.
Do I have a motion to approve?
No motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Lisa? Yes. Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to item number 6, request to approve attendance of the clerk and deputy clerk at the Quarterly Clerks Association of St. Clair County meeting on December 11, 2025 for the cost of $34 per person plus mileage. I'll make a motion to approve that, because
I'll second.
you go every time. And we don't even have, the supervisors don't even have them, so. All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Lisa? Yes. Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 7, request to review and approve proposal for snow removal services. Last year when we took over, we had to make a quick decision because for whatever reason we couldn't get a hold of the former, or the current landscaping company, for snow services, and we had approved a different company. Tim's Landscaping would like a shot at it to take it back this year. They did handle the sidewalk that goes in between Shangri-La and the Kmart Plaza, the Riverview Plaza. Last year, they did handle that anyway for us. So they put a bid in, and as well as 3G Services, who helped handle our services last year. It looks like Tim's is coming in considerably less. What Nolan asked is if we do approve them, that if we could get a quote to place snow fencing along that sidewalk on M29, because it drifts so much, they end up having to, it costs us more money, because if we did get heavy snow, it drifts. So they end up having to rent a piece of equipment from Marine City to remove that.
Okay.
So if we approve Tim's, if whoever wants to make a motion for whichever one we want to approve, but if we approve Tim's, if we can include putting out for bid or seeing how much it's going to cost, maybe we can talk to Fence Connection, the local company here, and see how much they charge us to put up snow fencing along that property, and approve it at the next meeting if it's a fair price. So I'll entertain a motion for either one. Tim's has stepped up and handled all of our grass cutting, and man, they've been cutting trees for us this year at good prices.
So he's gonna be this no matter what the snowfall is?
No.
What's that? No, it's individual service. His invoices, it just totals everything up. This is for the individual service.
Okay, I was confused.
So if it's a snow cleanup of 1 to 6 inches, the lot and private walks is $165.
That makes more sense.
So, and then if you look, it's like $45 cheaper, and then it's almost $70, $75, no. $65 cheaper? No, yeah, $65 cheaper for the 6 to 12 inch snow. Applying the salt's $125, and he's gonna clear the entranceway of the for the fire truck and the ambulance. They're gonna clear that too for $50 when they do it.
Okay.
So
I'll make the motion to approve Tim's lawn service for the snow removal this winter.
Real quick question. So it says on here though that he's gonna do the snow removal of the entranceway of the barn. Is it gonna go all the way out to the driveway, or is
yeah,
it
he's gonna clear a path. He's gonna make sure that it's clear so the fire truck can get in and out as well as the ambulance.
Okay.
So, we talked about that, and in all reality, it slipped my mind, and he says, well, you want me to include that, right? I'm like, absolutely. So that's where that came in on that, and, so,
I'll second it.
does that motion, can we include in that motion getting a quote? I guess I don't need.
You don't need a
I don't
motion
need
to
it,
get a
just get a quote, and we'll, if it's a good price, we'll approve that. That's a fair request.
Yeah,
It saves them money,
absolutely.
it saves us money.
100%.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Lisa? Yes. Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Tim's lawn service will handle our snow. Item number 8, request to review and approve proposed 2026 Township Office Calendar. I think,
The calendar here proposed is pretty much almost identical to this past year's. We just obviously moved it the one day, acknowledged, what's it called? Holidays, especially, with our meetings and planning commission meetings. The one thing, if we are to approve this calendar, we definitely have to make a decision on the Thanksgiving Eve. It is a day that last year we got the whole day off, but upon speaking to the hourly employed members of our staff, they didn't feel that it was necessary to take the whole Wednesday off.
Did they prefer a half day or 2 hours off?
They didn't,
Didn't matter to them?
they didn't really say one way or another. They didn't show preference one way or the other.
Well, let's
So,
I'm not gonna be there no matter what on that day. So you all do what you wanna do.
I'm good with making that a half day. What about you guys?
I don't care, I'm not gonna be there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, I know, but it's a matter of, I mean, I don't wanna
As far
short
as
anybody
taxes
payroll. If they
go-
wanna work, they can work, I mean.
Like, I don't have any, that's not gonna run into any
Right.
issues with taxes for me.
Well, I
so-
say we make that a half day for them,
Okay.
so we'll go with the half day.
So that day is actually the 25th next year.
For
And then
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving
Eve.
is the 26th next year. Those dates are wrong.
All right.
oh yeah, those dates didn't get changed over, cause it's the 26th and 27th this year.
Right.
So as the calendar goes, we scooch back a day, so.
So those are actually the what?
25th and 26th.
Yep.
25, 26.
I don't see any mental health days on there.
With
I don't see any hide from the residents days on there, so.
With ESTA, we're allowed to take all the mental health days we want. No questions asked.
So with those couple of corrections, calling that a half day, I'll entertain a motion to approve that, the 2026 calendar as presented. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 9, request to approve payment of invoice 202-53413 payable to Philippek and Company, the CPAs for services rendered for August 2025 in the amount of $507.60. It's actually pretty good. I mean, we're under budget on them, so they're handling the questions and getting them done in a timely manner.
Yeah, no complaints here.
I'll entertain a motion to pay the CPAs in the amount of $507.60.
I'll motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote?
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. The next item is item number 10 is to request to review the proposed water and sewer contract for Shangri-La and to approve proceeding with negotiations using this proposed contract as the basis for discussion. And further, to authorize the township supervisor to execute the final agreement on behalf of the township, provided the final terms are substantially consistent with those reviewed and accepted by the township board. Should material or significant changes arise during negotiations, the revised contract shall be returned to the board for further review and approval prior to execution.
Okay, so now that you read all that, there isn't a copy in our board packet. You guys would have seen it in your email.
Yeah, Chris, I didn't print one for Chris. If I need, I can adjourn. I know, did you get yours, Lisa? Because I know you had emailed asking for it.
Yeah, I have it.
I'll give you guys a rundown, and I can give you, well, you just don't have it, so you can't look at it.
The biggest thing, the reason it's not in your packet is because we were hoping to hear back from the attorneys on their opinion on it
Before we put it in.
before this meeting.
I'll give you guys a rundown, and we can actually table this till next month, because we haven't even started negotiations. I mean, if we want to just approve me to start negotiations, and then we'll bring the final contract for approval, I'm good with that, but I'll give you guys a rundown.
I think that's how we should do it.
What's
I
that?
think that's how we should do it, so that you can.
Essentially, Shangri-La somehow got a contract where they don't pay for all of their lots if they don't have a trailer or the trailers are empty. They still have taps, water and sewer. They don't pay the base fees for having those taps. and that's sewer. We're still responsible for those taps, and we don't read meters, we don't have any meters in the trailer park, they read their own meters, we have a master meter. But they should pay, we're limited on how many taps we can have with Marine City, and they're using those taps. So in this new contract, they're gonna pay, we're asking them to pay the base water and sewer rates for each tap that they have, regardless of whether there's a trailer on the lot or it's vacant, because they're supposed to give us a list of what's not being used, and somehow they worked out that deal where they don't have to pay for these when everybody else in the community does. That's the main thing. The next thing in the contract is they have had a broken flow meter for over a year. I think it's going on 6 quarters. We've been asking them to fix it. We've been estimating their bill. In this new contract, it will give them 1 quarter to fix an unreadable master meter. And if they don't fix it in 1 quarter, then we can go in, replace the meter, and charge them costs and all associated fees. That's the gist of the contract. They would pay an additional roughly $25,000 a year in base rate fees that they're not paying now.
So we initiated this.
What's that?
We initiated this, the township did.
The contract, it has been long overdue to be renegotiated. It's actually expired.
So this is new?
That's a brand new contract. I wrote that contract. I do feel that there's a couple things after Angela and I reviewed, some wording needs to be changed because I say water and I leave out sewer on some paragraphs. So that might be a couple of the changes that the attorney makes after his review. But that's the gist of the contract. That's the gist of what that says. And I spoke with the owner of Shangri-La. He's definitely not happy. But we can't afford to keep allowing, those fees to go unpaid and the township eat those fees.
So there are a lot of empty lots,
60
oh, okay.
Yeah, it comes out to like,
is the map. I didn't have the map in there. I mean,
it was like $20,000 to $25,000 a year in fees
Okay.
that they should be paying.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
that they have not been paying.
Okay.
so, go ahead.
Nothing, it's okay.
No, go ahead.
I don't have anything else.
So basically, because you guys, I didn't get the contract to you guys until today or yesterday, because we were waiting for the attorney to review, and he just hasn't gotten that part of it done. I'm trying to get this done while we're still negotiating a contract for Marine Cities, with Marine City for water. So this is, getting this done now puts this in place so that when the Marine City contract is done, it's all covered, and I don't have to worry about the issues. And I'm not saying they're gonna accept it, but that's what should be paid, that's what was paid previous to 2012. And I believe this is a deal that the last contract that was done was a deal worked out with Kelly Fiscali. It was a sweetheart deal on their, for them, not so much for us. And I'm looking to correct that. So, I just need, what's that?
So I will make a motion to approve proceeding with negotiations using that proposed contract once it's returned from the attorney as the basis for the discussion. And return to the board
For
for final review.
I will second that.
I like that motion. All in favor by roll call vote?
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 11, request review and consider action on the renewal of the Iowa Township Fire Service Agreement. We had a short discussion on this last month, and we wanted to bring the chief in to answer a couple questions, if anybody had any questions. So, the chief is here. if anybody wants to ask any questions. You know, essentially, the Marine City Fire Authority, fire owners will take over. I'll let you go ahead and explain it.
Good evening. I just want to thank you guys for the moment of silence at the last meeting for my mom's passing. Just to talk a little bit about this. This area that we're talking about is west of Starville Road to Mayor Road. About 15 years ago, it was taken away from us. We covered it for approximately 100 years prior to that with no issues. At the time, Supervisor Raymond made that decision. I was quite upset about it at the time. I wasn't chief at the time, but Chief Tucker was. We were both upset just the way it was done. Since then, it has worked out fine. I'm not here to push for Marine City to get that area. The only thing that's changing is we are putting a truck out here at the new building, which has capabilities of shuttling water, pumping water for any structure fires. I do personally drive a vehicle that is licensed medical first responder. It carries JAWS, it carries medical supplies for any medical emergencies. Even if we were to get that area over, if there's a structure fire in that area, IRA is still responding to it with a mutual aid agreement with us and the county, the state. It's, and just to explain that, if there's a structure fire anywhere in Marine City's area, we automatically get Algonac, St. Clair, Clay Township, and Ira Township that come in. We do the same for them just because of the manpower. Right now, if this truck's out here, I have 8 personnel that live within a mile of this building. So our response time is going to be greater than what they could probably do. They're a well-run department. They're very respected. Both departments are. So I'm not pushing to it, but it would make sense if we got a truck here and you are owners of us.
Right.
Yeah.
My question, only question I have is, Marine City Fire Authority can handle it.
Yes, we can,
That's the only question I have.
with no issues.
We do, so our business that I work for is right off of Shane Mayer. So Ira always comes to our issues. And I did just do a little Google map thing, and with a truck here, it's like 7 minutes, which is the same for Ira for response time. So, of course, I'm concerned about that quadrant of the community, but with the new building. But when will the new building have the truck in it? That's my
As soon
only.
as he tells me it's okay to go.
Should be decent.
As soon as there's heat in the
They poured
building.
today, so.
That I've been promised, I don't want to say guaranteed, I've been promised, the building will be ready to go before December 31st.
And as far as like medical emergencies, you still have an ambulance that stages at Ira Townships behind their station. They are still responding, or the one from Clay Township. And you notice a lot of times they're sitting at Shea and Starville.
Yeah.
Well,
Church.
and
Yes.
so I'm pretty
And that's where they sit
right
status.
Yeah.
When one city's out, they'll move a rig over just so it can cover 3 communities.
And so this contract that we have with IRA goes through December 31st anyways. So
Correct.
if we have the building available by December 31st, I mean, there's really no
gap.
gap.
And Ira did say if we needed to extend it for a couple months, they're willing to extend it. If we're not going to renew, I just need to let Tammy know at Central Dispatch so that she can change the maps to know who to notify. I'll say that there have been a couple calls that they haven't made it to, that Marine City's actually had to go to anyway. And we don't get charged extra for that.
And that is our mutual aid agreement.
Right, that's the mutual aid agreement.
That's the same thing we would have with them.
Right, and the same thing would happen in the future, that if Marine City could make it, they're gonna make it anyway. Our annual contract, I think they said would be up, like if we renewed it, it'd be up to like $4,400 for the year, plus the
We pay a
Per call fee.
call fee, and depending on the amount, or depending on the severity of the call, we pay more for worse calls.
This will save just north of $10,000 a year.
Well, that was my question. So if we were being charged by IRA, around $4,000 a year, will it be more, will Marine City be charging us more to cover that area?
So the easy way to say is if there's no calls in that area, your bill doesn't go up.
Oh, so it's by?
It's by percentage. It's a 3-year average of your calls is how you get billed. So if there is more calls in there, your percentage for the year will go up. It will cost you more. How much, I have no clue.
Our per call rate, I think on the contract.
You're around 17% of our budget
Yeah.
is what you pay for the authority now. And I don't know how many calls are in that area throughout the year.
Well, they bill us quarterly, and it's on average around 5 calls a quarter.
So 20 extra calls a year. But you're paying $4,400 a quarter or $4,400 a year?
$4,400 an annual
Okay.
fee, and then a per run fee, depending
Yeah,
on
and
the type
we
of
don't
run.
charge per.
Anywhere
I
from
mean,
150
It's
on.
in that percentage is how we do it.
Yeah.
Well, our special assessment, I was reviewing things from previous times, but our special assessment calls out Marine City Fire Authority, but not IRA. So how were we paying for the IRA?
That's where the extra $20,000 a year that we transfer from the general fund into the fire
Oh, so it is a
fund,
transfer. It is
That's
a
where it
transfer.
goes.
Okay,
So this will save us roughly $10,000 to $20,000 a year from the general fund. Because now the way we set it up is a 1 mil assessment for the fire, which will fully fund the calls for the fire and the contract with the fire. And future increases. We can build up a little buffer if the contract goes up substantially, but this will, our new assessment and removing this contract should cover the contract. More than sufficient. And we shouldn't have to transfer any money out of the general fund anymore to cover that. That was part of the thought process that I looked into when we were doing the assessment process for the police and fire, why we would raise it. I looked into all of this when the chief asked if we could make the building bigger. I found an avenue to save some money in some areas and be able to use it together with the other stuff. So, we're gonna be in good shape from what I can do mathematically, the math wizardry that we can do by guessing.
And I asked if you could make the building bigger because you would ask about putting a truck in there.
Yeah.
So
So, so,
that's all I had to ask you. Thank you, Joe.
So, yeah, any other questions? Thank you, Chief. What do you guys think? I think we positioned ourselves to return our firefighting services and emergency services fully back to Marine City Fire Authority. I think we're in a good position for that now. Do I have a motion to, how do we do this? Do I have a motion to not renew the contract with Ira Township?
Just make
Fire?
the motion.
What's that?
Just make the motion.
All right,
You're gonna word
I
it,
make a
you might-
motion not to renew the contract with the Ira Township Fire. And to turn that section back over to Marine City Fire Authority as they handled that for 100 years previous.
At the expiration of.
At the expiration of December 31st, 2025. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg,
Yes.
Angela, yes. Sarah,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes,
Chris.
Yes.
Motion carries. I'll inform Tammy.
Well, you can wait until December 31st.
Well, I have to let her know a month in advance.
Oh, okay.
So, That's central dispatch, yeah. They need a month to convert everything over so that the calls go to the right place. So, I'll let Tammy know. My glasses back on. Item number 12, request to approve payment of renewal of Assessor Barb Schutz's STC certifications in the amount of $175 payable to the state of Michigan. Gotta have our assessor certified. Do I have a motion to pay that $175 on her behalf?
A motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Yep, so I was just curious, is her certification only good for each, so I know she works for multiple municipalities, so this
She does
certification.
not.
She does not.
She only works for us.
What's that?
She only works for us. She doesn't
Oh,
work for
okay.
any other municipalities.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
That's
she
my question.
only works for us.
oh, okay, that's my question, thank you.
So, yeah, no, if she did work for other municipalities, like China pays a company, and, yeah, and I don't know what Clay does, but yeah, she is just our assessor, she's in here, and that's it. And I hope to keep her as long as we can, because we're gonna end up paying more money in the long run. We gave her one raise, but I think next year we need to look at giving her a little more to keep her, because she's worth every penny and she does a great job.
Did you, have any luck with compensation committee? Did you have any,
I have 3 members so far. I will be appointing, bringing my appointments to the board at next month's meeting so that they can meet in January. They'll do a 1-year review, and then they can, because technically our ordinance states that they should meet in odd years, but we had just taken over, Mary Agnes had disbanded the compensation committee. So this year, we'll have them do a 1-year review and recommendation, and then they can meet again January of 2027, January 2027 for a 2-year review at that time. So I should have a full 5-member committee to appoint by the next meeting. I have 3 right now. I have 3 applications. I have a couple other people that are supposed to send me applications. I haven't gotten them yet. Item number 13, request to review the proposed tri-hospital emergency medical service building use contract and to approve proceeding with negotiations using the proposed contract as the basis for discussion. And further, to authorize the township supervisor to execute the final agreement on behalf of the township, provided the final terms are substantially consistent with those reviewed and accepted by the township board. Should material or significant changes arise during negotiation, the revised contract shall be returned to the board for further review and approval prior to execution. We actually just got this contract yesterday. We reviewed it. Pretty standard contract. They're paying for 1 day, 700 square feet, and use of the restrooms when they become available. And it'd be $2,500 a year for use of the bay. And they're not gonna, the way it sounds right now is they're not storing an ambulance in there. They're probably not storing any equipment. It's strictly so that when the ambulance is stationed in our community, it's all kind of explained. So right now there's an ambulance in Ira, an ambulance in Clay, and an ambulance in East China. And when one of those 3 ambulances go on a call, they go on a run, one of the ambulances come to our community because we're in the center of it, and they stage here while that third ambulance is on a run. What they asked us when they found out we were building a new building is they asked if they could have a bay, that they could have their drivers be able to pull in the winter and get out and stretch their legs rather than having to stay cramped up in that ambulance in the church parking lot over on Starville. They offered to pay us for use of that bay. And eventually, if they add another ambulance to this area, they can, we can renegotiate the contract at that time for full-time use of that part of the building. But right now, it's just for incidental use when they're in our community. So yeah, I thought that was a fair price. He He offered if we wanted the full amount up front, they're willing to pay the full amount up front if it would help complete the building. I don't think it's necessary, but if it comes to that, I mean, you know, we can figure that out. But right now it's $2,500 a year, and yeah, it was all part of the discussions when we built the building. So, if you guys are good with the contract, you know, if there's any questions, you can call me, but before we do the final contract. But yeah, if you guys are good with it, you guys just are seeing it today, yeah, because we just got it yesterday,
Yeah.
so we were able to print it this morning.
It should have been emailed to you guys as well.
Yeah, did you guys get a chance to see it in your email? I don't know if Chris did, but.
Yeah, I couldn't pull anything up in my email.
What's that? Oh, you can't get your email up? All right.
No, I got my email up, but I couldn't, like, get the message.
Okay. Did you get a chance to look at it, Lisa?
Yep, so I thought that was good, that we could terminate in 60 days or change it. I would think depending on if our costs increase at all, we feel like we need, you know, I don't know how you came up with that number, but, or how they did, but if we needed to increase the amount we're charging them, we could, it looks like we could terminate and
Yeah, we can terminate in 60 days. This was actually, this is almost a mirror contract to what they have in the other communities. Pretty much the difference is the building's square footage that they're able to use, and the cost. So, and this is strictly a layover bay or a hangout bay while they're in our community. I think that's more than fair. It's not like, I mean, the building's gonna be heated already for the fire truck and the DPW.
Yeah,
So, adding help with the bills or, you know, any additions in the future, this is just additional cost or additional money to help
It's this one.
fund the building in the future, keep the lights on if we need. So yeah, I mean, if you guys are good with it, as long as there's no substantial changes, you know, I'll entertain a motion to approve negotiations and approval of the contract with, as long as there's no major material changes. Do I have a motion?
Stupid me.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 14. I wanted to bring this to everybody's attention today. Is it yours?
That's my stack. That's
Okay.
my stack.
I didn't hand them out in any particular order. But if we go to the explanation of the non-compliance with state law, I'll kind of just give you guys a brief rundown. In 2008, the Planning Enabling Act was passed, PA 33. What that law did is it repealed Public Act 285 of 1931. And when they passed that, a lot of townships didn't have planning commissions anyway. We were one of the few townships that had a planning commission. We've had a planning commission. Our planning commission was created under ordinance number 7 in 1959, under PA 285 of 1931. When they passed that, they gave a time frame to become compliant with PA 233, or I'm sorry, PA 33. And they gave that time frame of July 1st of 2011 to have that done. Where we could operate under our current planning commission ordinance until that date. And as I said, we were one of 5 or 6 townships that had a planning commission ordinance before that 2008 law. So we were one of like 5 or 6 townships in the state of Michigan that could operate under that and use elements of that original law in our new ordinance, if we had amended it before 2011. If you look, I've got our current ordinance number 7, that's this page right here. It's really nothing, there's nothing there. Under the PA 285 1931, it was a 5-member commission, and it was to consist of 3 members of the 3 residents, 3 electors of the public, the supervisor, and another board liaison. So it was a 5-member board. We could have kept, if we had amended this before 2011, we could have kept 2 ex officio members as members of the planning commission, which would have been a seat for the supervisor and 1 board member. Since we did not, now we're constrained to 1 board member, or 1 ex officio member. In 2008, they did this one here with the pink on it, the red. This was what they had started working on, but never finished. This is substantially closer to falling in under the rules of PA 33, but it's not 100% there. There's a lot of things that are missing that would have still needed to been added. Some of the things that need to be added or need to be included in the ordinance is the commission the composition, how many members, the terms, the qualifications, appointment procedures. It needed to list the duties and powers. It needed to have a section on public participation and transparency. It requires the planning commission to submit an annual report to the board. And it gives the board duties along with that. The board has the ability to authorize them to do capital improvement planning if the board so desired. And then it needs to state that it repeals conflicting ordinance. And obviously ours was never repealed. So the conclusion recommendation is the current planning commission ordinance is not compliant with Michigan law due to its reliance on a repealed statute and lack of alignment with requirements of the Michigan Planning Enabling Act, PA 233 of 2008. To ensure legal compliance and effective governance, Cottrellville Township must repeal and replace section 131 with a new ordinance that references PA 33 of 2008, defines the commission structure, duties, procedures in accordance with the act, includes provisions for public engagement and annual reporting, and aligns with current zoning and land use regulations. I believe in 2019, the Supervisor Simmons had attempted to somewhat comply with PA 33 by writing new bylaws, but even those bylaws fall significantly short, and these things still need to be listed in the ordinance. So long story short, this is the draft ordinance that we've sent to the attorney, the one that says ordinance number blank of 2025. This is now with the attorney for review and changes that need to be made to match the state's law. We need to get this approved ASAP. So as soon as the attorney finishes the draft and approves the draft, which hopefully will be in the next couple weeks, I will send you guys the draft ordinance so that we can approve it at the December board meeting, because then it's 63 days before it takes effect from the time we can post it. So it'd be about 75 days before the new ordinance would take effect. In essence, that would create a new planning commission. The current planning commission would be considered holdovers and could be reappointed to the new planning commission when it's effective. So yeah, I mean, we need a new ordinance to be compliant with the state. And that's the long and short of it. I think we're currently, right now, we have 8 members on the planning commission. Mary Agnes held a seat, but under the new law, the supervisor will not hold a seat. It'll be 1 ex officio board member. I see no need to stick with a 9-member commission. I think we can drop it down to 7. And I'll decide the 7 members that will be appointed or reappointed when we pass the ordinance. Is there any discussion or questions? I mean, it's pretty serious.
No.
So,
What spurred the need for a change? Is that just because we noticed we're out of compliance?
yeah, any decisions that the planning commission make technically can be challenged. Because they're not legally constituted under PA 33. So we can take a chance and leave it as it is. But with all of the decisions, well, and here's the other thing. We can't approve our new master plan under the current planning commission ordinance. We have to be compliant with PA 33 before we can approve our new master plan.
Well, it seems like with McKenna, I don't know if they coordinate those meetings or their role in the meetings, but it seems like there's some inexperience there. It seems like, from what I understand, and again, I don't attend them, but it seems like perhaps,
Their main guy, Brian, who's supposed to be our planning commission advisor, he hasn't been able to make the last 2 meetings, so Alexis has filled in for him. But, so hopefully we can rectify that. And as soon as we comply with PA 33, we can hold the training sessions and go that route and make sure everybody's trained. And I'm gonna start recommending that the planning commission members take advantage of the MTA, because they're all allowed to go, they're all appointed members of the township, so they can take advantage of the videos on demand training. And then I'm also looking at if we have to pay for the Michigan State University extension training for planning and see if we can get some of these guys certified citizen master planners. So, when I ran for office, we knew that there was a lot of problems and a lot of things that needed to be corrected. We've been working on it over the last year. You know, this is something that came to our attention in the last couple of weeks. And with these decisions that are being made, you know, we had contacted Metro Planning and asked for any ordinances that they had copies of. Because we actually have ordinances that were approved by the board from the planning commission that we don't even have copies of. We don't know what they are. So we're trying to track down some of those ordinances through the Metro Planning Commission, and it was discussed that we're not compliant with PA 33. So, yeah, and I spoke with the members of the Planning Commission that, you know, I'm going to reappoint, so they pretty much all know who's going to be reappointed. And it was even, I didn't explain to them this, they don't even know this yet. But we had to do some, we're going to have to do some appointments just to confirm, you know, because we don't have minutes. I have no minutes from the Planning Commission after September of '23 until December last year when I took over. I had no minutes or agendas. I have no copies of it. You know, I don't know what the chair, where the, you know, I don't know where the minutes are. They were never turned over to the clerk. So we don't have them. And with that, once we form the new planning commission, they can, their first order of business will be electing new officers and creating new bylaws to conform to PA 33.
Right. So at this point, we don't really need, we don't
No,
do
just-
anything, you're just letting us know.
I'm letting you know what's going on. You can do your research, be prepared for the new ordinance, come from the attorney. This is something we need to do as soon as possible, because we got decisions that are being made and have been made. And when we pass an ordinance, one of the clauses in here is transitional provisions which are pending matters, any matter pending before the prior planning commission at the time of adoption shall continue before the newly constituted commission at the same procedural stage and without prejudice. And that'll allow any decisions that the current planning commission makes while this is pending in the 63 days of notice, that the decisions that they make are within the rights to be made. Like I say, that's one of the reasons why this has to be done fairly quickly.
All right.
So, yeah, I mean, are there any other questions?
We'll watch for that email.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, if not, I will move on to Public comments and announcements?
No.
I forgot Joe. Joe, item number 15 is Joe's garage. Joe, if you want to come on the podium real quick, I'll kind of give these guys a rundown. Chris kind of knows what's going on. Joe had a site plan approved in 2021, I believe. And then actually under our ordinance, section 24, I don't remember the paragraph, but it's section 24, 22 or 24. They have 18 months to complete the work required in the approved site plan. Now, Joe's been operating since 2021. He's been working with the former supervisor, enforcement actions. The planning commission wanted to bring him back in front of the board for the site plan review to either approve or get some action on progress. And so we spent the summer getting, Joe's been back in front of the planning commission. McKenna has made their recommendations on what needed to be done to satisfy the zoning laws. He fell short. They had given him 30 days to complete a few extra items. At the meeting, last meeting, was it last meeting? No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was last meeting. I think it was the meeting before that. Anyway, it was the meeting before last because they've had 2 meetings since our last meeting. So the meeting before last, they voted to deny his site plan approval. So that leaves us with the decision. I brought Joe back in front of us today to tell us where he's at. I think he had 4 items left on that list of things to accomplish. And I want to hear where Joe's at with that, how those 4 items, one was a dumpster enclosure.
Yeah, that was brought to my attention. I
understand.
I have 3 of them that are not completed.
Okay, which ones aren't completed?
Okay, I got the dumpster enclosure. Okay. And then I had it wasn't on here, but I think I talked to the chief about it. I fixed it. I'm working on the secondary containment. They said they just wanted to move the oil storage away from the building. And and then that's my partner, the one he was yelling at me down the street. And then we're coming up with something different, that's all.
Okay, so you're working with Nick still?
Yep. I got Nick's, everything on Nick's is done except for one.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the chief a question real quick. Since you did your initial fire inspection, have you been back yet? You have not? Are you okay to have him come back?
Sure,
and see?
absolutely.
Okay, so you got 3 items to complete. We can have Chief Slankster come back. I know Nick said you were working on some of them things. I'm gonna make a motion. Before I do this, would you think you can have these items completed by December 10th?
I'll try my best. I'm getting close now. I got 1 issue left on the fence. Okay. I got waiting on some hardware for the gate. I have not taken the tire rack down, which I told you I'm going to work on that.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna motion. I'm gonna motion we give you till December 10th and to complete the 3 items.
Absolutely.
And have the chief come in and do one last inspection to make sure everything else was good, because I think he had a list of stuff that he had for you to complete. And if you come back in front of us December 10th and you're complete, I'll motion that we send it back to the planning commission at that time for reconsider. So my motion is for you to come back in front of us, complete December 10th.
Okay.
And rather than start any more enforcement action, I want to give you time. I need the board's approval to give you that time.
Okay.
Because the planning commission didn't. So I make a motion to give Mr. Treadway.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So at this time, the planning commission is not planning to hold a meeting in December, in the later part of December. So if he comes
Right.
back in December 10th, he has to wait for the end of January.
I'll address that right now too.
Thank you.
Joe is working at complying, so everybody knows, he is, it took a year, but him and I are an understanding that he knows he has these things to do. I want him to come back next month. And if we don't need a motion, if we don't need anything, if we just want him to come back in front of us next month and we'll make a decision. The only motion I will make is I want to give him that extra time right now, 1 month. Where I don't have to do any enforcement action, I don't have to start any enforcement action against Joe's garage while he completes these last 3 items. So I'm gonna make a motion from you guys that I don't have to do any enforcement action this month. I wanna give him till December 10th to come and give us another status update. That's my motion. To allow me not to have to do enforcement action. Can I have a second?
So-
Well, what?
Motion that he has to comply with those things. What about the chief going out? And has to have the chief re-inspect?
Yes, and the chief has to re-inspect before the next meeting so that I know you're good.
So the motion is to,
Not start any enforcement action while Joe gets the last 3 items completed and has the fire chief re-inspect for compliance before the next board meeting. Does that motion sound right? Is that? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by roll call vote, please.
Greg?
Yes.
Angela, yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Don't disappoint me, Joe.
I try not to. I try to make your job easier.
That's
I did
my
have
hope.
I did have some personal problems, but I've been trying to make your job easier.
I want to see a successful business. I want to see it look good, so that the neighbors are happy.
Well, they're not
And
gonna be happy, but
what's that?
now we're gonna be happy.
If you can make it look good, it'll
Yes.
stop the complaints. And I appreciate what you're doing.
Okay. And I appreciate your service too.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'll open it up for public comment at 8:52. Anybody? No public comment? I will close it at 8:52. Board comments and announcements. Everybody at home and in the audience, we have the Buck Bowl coming up November 15th and 16th, a new event. Just get together, the residents can come up here. I got the wood to make the pole, I'm gonna put that together probably tomorrow. Saturday, we'll have a chili cook-off, which will be kinda neat. I think the fire department is gonna be there, and I got a bunch of residents that are gonna be there.
DNR will be there with the,
What's that?
DNR will be there?
DNR will be there. They'll be able to age the deer, and they'll have successful hunter patches to hand out for anybody who is successful. So yeah, that's the buck pole. The office will be closed November 26th and 27th in observance of Thanksgiving. And we have a special meeting regarding AJ's Salt Docks Thursday, December 4th, 2025, which reminds me, they didn't finish the cement yet. They'll finish the cement tomorrow, and then the doors are going on the building.
Will there be heat?
No, not yet.
Then no. I am not sitting in the.
We already have the invoice to pay the cement guys when they're complete and when the doors go on. We have the money we have the bill for the doors. I didn't want to put it on tonight's agenda because they didn't complete it. If they would have completed the cement last week and got the doors on, then I would have had it on tonight's agenda. Basically, it's just paying the invoices on the cement and the garage doors as part of the contract.
I thought you were going with, you wanted us to have that meeting in the morning.
No.
I'm like, no way.
No, I need to hold.
Already freezing.
I don't want to make them wait a whole nother month to be paid for the cement because they got the cement company to pay and then the doors. Basically, it's just paying the invoices on the cement and the garage doors as part of the contract. I was just gonna ask if it's all right if I hold a special meeting on Wednesday, tentatively, just to vote to pay that invoice for the cement and the doors. I think it's 50.
This coming Wednesday?
Yeah, it'd be this coming Wednesday, so that we get it done before Thanksgiving and we can get that invoice paid before the holiday.
A lunch meeting?
What's that?
A lunch meeting?
Just a lunch meeting, it'd be 5 minutes just to vote to pay the bill. If you guys wanna be here, you can. I get your thoughts on it. Are you guys good with me holding a meeting just to call the vote to pay the bill?
I think
That's part of the contract?
I'm fine with
Yeah,
that,
that's
yeah.
fine.
So, all right, I'll let you guys know, depending on what happens tomorrow, I can call it on Monday for Wednesday, just a quick meeting to pay that bill, so that they don't have to wait a whole nother month. So, I'll call that next week. Anybody else have any comments?
I have one. So the St. Clair County Library has a mobile library that they're gonna start bringing here in Cottrellville. And they came and showed it to us. It's really cool. It's filled with books. They're gonna be rotating them. They got stuff for everyone from kids to adults. You can go on our website, see a little bit more about it. And they are gonna start coming on the second Wednesday of every month. So when we have our board meetings, they'll be here from 2 until 4. And then we can change the times if they gotta stay longer or anything like that afterwards.
Can people sign up for library cards with the?
So yes, you can, and actually, if you sign up, if you don't have a current library card and you sign up on the mobile library, you get a fancy little card that nobody else has.
Oh,
It's kind of
cool.
cool looking.
Special one.
Yes.
Special library card.
But yeah, they can do all of that on there. They're full service,
Awesome.
What I
everything on
found
it.
interesting was that it's a mobile Wi-Fi hotspot too.
Yes.
So you can just pull into the parking lot, sit next to them, and work on your computer or something if you need to.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
It was interesting to hear that.
Yeah, and then they also said that when we have events in the future, that they'll come out for those too. We just gotta let them know in advance.
Oh,
So
that's
like
cool.
for like the trick or treat, they
Yeah.
can come out and
Oh, sweet.
yeah.
I'm glad to see that the libraries are moving, because I mean, I see little book things in different communities,
Yeah.
but that's cool that they're.
Well, and they really wanted to target us because there's like the Marine City Library and Algonac has one. We don't have one here,
Ira has
like a brick and mortar. Yeah, and
Everybody
so-
has one, but us.
but us. So that's why they're
That's
targeting
cool.
lots of areas, but they really wanted to come out here. So they'll be in our parking lot for now. This is all new, just trying it out. They can increase the hours in the future. They can, if we want to hold them back there, we can.
Right.
Yeah. So
I'm
they're-
impressed, I'm happy.
They just want to see people. So for those of you at home watching, come check it out. Come get yourself a book. They got all sorts of stuff in there, and yeah, it's really cool. The guys that run it are super friendly, and
Awesome.
Not just books, they have board games.
yeah, I didn't realize that either. You can rent out board games.
Wow.
They got like brand new board games in there. I think you can rent out video games.
Oh, man.
You can, yeah. They've got some cool stuff in there.
I think that'll be a good thing for our community. I really do. I'm looking forward to it. Anybody else? Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Lisa? None?
Not today.
No? Well, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned.
8:59.